All right, let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. And a huge thank you for carving out an hour to be with us today. If we have not yet met, my name is Anthony Seiler, Educational Lead for ACDI, and you are in for a treat today. All right, here's the plan. Education just got a green light go. And here's what that means for you. We are going to talk about what K-12 looks like in a post-pandemic world. And we have a team of experts to break down a ton of great information. We're going to be covering new funding dollars and what that means for you and how to utilize those. We're going to talk about safety procedures and new safety protocols and measures that went into place. And most importantly, how PaperCut plays a part in all of it. So throughout our discussion, don't forget to put questions in the chat box right here, and we'll field Q&A at the end of this. All right, that's it for announcements. Now I invite you to sit back, relax, and take a mental journey with me. A medium-sized school district in Northern Ohio with students coming back to school next month. 1 district office, 1 high school, 2 middle schools, and 7 elementary schools. Questions start to arise on what K-12 is going to look like in this post-pandemic world. Safety and technology are top priorities in this new hybrid schooling environment. We have students and faculty going to be on campus for the first time in 10 months. And other students opting into our virtual platform require new remote teaching methods for both teachers and students. So now I invite you to a superintendent's board meeting taking place to discuss and brainstorm the hows on what this is going to look like. They've gathered experts in many fields to make the re-entry of school as successful as possible. They have medical professionals to go over new safety procedures for both students and teachers. They have facilities on standby to map out the new student flow for traffic. And we have technology experts here to guide us in remote and on-site learning best practices. IT has included a number of technology specialists, but joining us live is ACDI, who was founded in the educational space, here to discuss PaperCut as a key component to our back-to-school strategy. The district kindly gave me their questions in advance, and we have a team of experts ready to answer. And leading us off live, we have ACDI's president, Josh Lane, here to tell us just how excited the team is in leading the charge in PaperCut in K-12. Josh, tell us, how do you feel about ACDI leading the charge in K-12? Because I have consistently heard the time is now.
Anthony, the time is exactly now. And, the feeling couldn't be better from my perspective. Knowing the heart behind the creation of the software and the intent that our team delivers it's truly satisfying. I mean, you're looking at a print management product, but it's so much more. It's a scan solution. It's an analytics interface. It's a print driver deployment utility. And really, it is a simple and elegant dashboard that enables millions of students and educators to responsibly print each day. So to say that I'm excited is an understatement. And to have the team that we have and the partners to deliver this solution, I mean, it really is setting up for a really big year. Personally, think about this. I have 4 kids, all in the school system currently. 1 in kindergarten, 1 in middle school, 2 in high school. So I'm truly invested in the effectiveness of our solutions. So from whatever lens that our viewers are looking from today, whether it be from an accounting or a cost savings perspective, maybe it's IT, maybe it's security, or possibly it's advocacy for a healthy environment. Those are all things that we're going to cover. But most importantly for me, it's, I'm viewing and really coming from an angle that I want my students, my kids, the educators to encounter true innovation. And in this instance, it's print management, it's PaperCut, and it's our team to help deliver it. So we are truly excited. And I really want to share this, that we believe that all things are possible. Okay? And we want to inspire others to believe that as well. So we're grateful to have this opportunity to share this information And we look forward to serving our students, your children, and all the educators to unleash PaperCut for education. So yes, the time is now. The team is ready. Take it from here, Anthony.
Josh, thank you so much. That is fantastic. And I love the personal touch behind that. In fact, you brought up some great insights. So I actually want to run with that and zoom out for a moment and look at PaperCut just at a macro level. Take a look at this, 13,500 public school districts nationwide. And I have them broken up between elementary school and high school, K through 12s, public, private. I mean, the opportunity here is absolutely enormous. But here's the great news. Take a look at this. We are not new to this space. PaperCut, founded in the educational space, and ACDI helping schools across the nation, 14,000 customers across all industries, but 4,700 of them, all schools. So we already have a great story to tell, which is the exciting part. And if you're a visual learner like me, take a look at this map. Unbelievable to see the school districts we have nationwide. But the great part is it doesn't stop there. We are excited to double down on our educational efforts, especially in this post-COVID world. So let's actually zoom back in and let's take a question from the district. I've got a great one here. The first question they have is, we've heard about this COVID-19 relief funding. What is it and how might I utilize it? And if it's okay with the team, let me just tackle this right now. It's top of mind for me. So take a look at this chart here when I talk about the COVID relief funding. I'll take you back a year ago with the CARES Act, $13.2 billion infused into the K through 12 market. Fast forward almost a year, the COVID relief package signed in December 2020 at the end of last year, $54 billion. I mean, this is a lot of money. And signed this month, the American Rescue Plan, that's an additional $126 billion. That's billion with a B. It's incredible the amount of money and the investment they're putting into K through 12 and the success of this new learning environment. So here's a couple things you might want to know. 20% of those dollars need to go towards learning loss and returning to in-person schooling. It also needs to go to the purchasing of hardware and software needed to conduct remote and hybrid learning. And I think we can tackle that. CDC safety requirements for on-site learning. And of course, you can see your state-by-state breakdown of what you can expect from the federal government down to the state governor and all the way down to the superintendents of each school, which is pretty exciting. So you can start to plan for that. So 20% towards learning loss. The other 80%, I'm looking at hardware and software and thinking we have an amazing opportunity here. And we're going to break these down with some of the great questions we have on how exactly PaperCut tackles each and every one of these things. But that is a fantastic question, and I hope everyone can utilize some of these dollars in that regard. Let's take it to the district for another question. Here's one. Student and faculty safety is our #1 priority. We have safety measures that we now need to adhere to. How does PaperCut support those initiatives? No better person to answer this than our good friend and colleague, solutions architect of the West, Ryan Huizinga. Ryan, hey, thanks for being here today.
Hey, Anthony, thanks for having me. And thanks for allowing me to join this great conversation about print management for schools and education. It is a hot topic. I'm having that conversation a lot with both the staff members, the IT, and the consultants that are being brought on to help them find the right solution. Well, PaperCut makes it easy, and it's the right choice. Let's talk about some of those elements real quick that can quickly turn an environment into a secure print workflow. One of them is going to be Find Me Printing, right? The ability to go ahead and deliver one print queue to your users, staff, students. So now when that user goes file print, they're not searching through a laundry list of 50 or 100 different print queues. Now they have one print queue logically named. They can print to that, and they can feel confident that the job is being secured and waiting for them to walk up and release that job at a single function printer or a multi-function device. All right, so now that staff member just printed that job. They're on to their other tasks. They know they have convenience to walk by that device and release that job. Let's talk about how they can release those jobs now out of that Find Me print queue. So today, schools are implementing that extra security protocol, requiring staff to go ahead and authenticate before they enter the building, right? Badge authentication, whether it's a badge, a key fob, or some other device. Well, now we can leverage that same technology at the MFD or single function printer. So now that job is being held in that queue, and that user can quickly walk up that same badge they used to enter the building. Now they can conveniently tap it at the MFD or single function printer and either have the jobs print out immediately or provided a nice logical list of all the print jobs they have waiting. So now that teacher, that student can pick which jobs are more relevant to them or they actually needed to put it on paper. Okay. Now we're talking about physical touches. And now we're living a new era where we need to try to eliminate the number of touch points in our environment, right? We need to be conscious of the environment, the people around us, and especially our kiddos. So touchless release, did you know that that is included with PaperCut MF? It's kind of a hidden feature. It's there. It's always been there. And it's referred to as mobile release. So yes, we can allow that staff member with their same BYOD device, as long as IT is allowing it to connect to the network, they can quickly walk up to a multifunction device or single function printer. I'm going to say that a lot. Use their phone to scan a nice, convenient QR code, and right away see the print jobs that they have readily available within the system to release at that device. So yes, I can walk up to a device, scan a QR code on my same device, no app needed, select which jobs I want to go ahead and release and have it make paper right away, right in front of me, eliminating the amount of touch points I would need to manually log in and select the job, and now conveniently have that secure job print out on that exit tray. Now I can walk away calmly and enjoy a cup of coffee, say hi to some fellow folks and some kiddos, and go on to the next part. Now, all of this together quickly helps that environment attest to some of the FERPA compliant, ensuring documents are kept private, right? So now a user's printing a job to a Find Me queue, it's held, they're not running or sprinting across the office to another floor and yelling, hey, that's my print job, that's my print job. Now they know that jobs are not exiting on the exit tray, waiting for other prying eyes or people to accidentally pick that up and walk away with that piece of paper. So once again, PaperCut is providing a holistic approach to secure print functionality and attesting to that FERPA compliance. Thank you, PaperCut. Appreciate it.
Ryan, absolutely fantastic and tremendous insight you bring to this topic. I think one of the best things you said, and it's encouraging for me and probably all of our listeners to hear, is that you're having these conversations every day, which means it's top of mind. And you can easily see how PaperCut bridges the gap over to safety and the new procedures for both students and faculty. So your insights welcomed. We can't thank you enough. And have a great rest of your afternoon. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today.
Appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
All right. Let's take another question from the district. This next one is centered around print drivers. And the question is, there's significant angst in the daily management of print drivers. What, if anything, does PaperCut have to help remedy this for us? And so let's kick this one all the way across the country to our VP of Sales for ACDI, Jeff McWilliams. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Anthony, thanks for having me. Good to be here. Good to be here. And I'm glad you lobbed probably the easiest question of the group, I'm thinking, because you know I'm not very technical, kind of removed from the day-to-day sales, but I am acutely aware of the power of print deploy. So to answer your question, do we have anything to handle the angst that customers feel? Absolutely. And if it was 2018 and you asked me that, it would be a different answer. But for the last few years, we've rolled out a component of PaperCut that allows IT managers in school systems and any other type of business to put the right drivers in the right queues at the right locations every time. So what it's done for us is it's allowed our partners to take a look at eliminating other products in their portfolio that did the same thing. So instead of having a user manager and a device manager and a print driver manager, it's all wrapped up into one product with PaperCut. So the addition of Print Deploy has been monumental. It's helped us win new deals. It's helped us, create a lot of customer satisfaction in the way of deploying drivers. And I think for those of you who aren't really aware of what this provides, imagine, Anthony, you go to your daughter's school and you're volunteering for the day. She's in the 3rd grade, and then they take off and they go to the middle school because while over there, they're going to do some show, and you're going to print off some flyers because the kids need to read in front of you, like maybe some scripts or things like that. And because that school uses Print Deploy through PaperCut, you now have the drivers automatically downloaded onto your laptop. You can see the machine you want to print to, you print it, and boom. So I think it handles a lot of problems that customers have had specifically on being mobile, right? So from the end user perspective, having access to devices, and two, from an IT perspective, the biggest accomplishment is minimizing the time it takes to deploy these drivers to the right locations. So you tell me, you've won a lot of deals with Print Deploy. What do you think about it?
Jeff, that is absolutely fantastic. I couldn't echo any more some of the points that you shared. The title of this is just shy of magic. And I mean, truly, when you see it in action, the ability to drag and drop and move print drivers to different individuals or groups or IP ranges, and then have a select person open up and see the drivers that were meant for them, it's been a lifesaver for many districts across the nation. So yeah, it's been great. And Jeff, thank you for sharing. I know this has been kind of near and dear to you as you've been doing everything that you do in your career and the history you have. So this is pretty cool.
Absolutely. I want to thank all of our resellers and their prospective school systems who are looking at PaperCut maybe for the first, second, or third time, or thinking about implementing it. I just want to say thanks to all of you for joining today. We're nothing without you. Thank you.
These are great. Let's take another question from the district. All right, you're going to like this one. We bought 300 Chromebooks pre-pandemic. We're now looking to roll them out. And does PaperCut have a way to manage those? Do we? Absolutely. If it's okay with the team, let me tackle this one. It's near and dear to my heart at the moment. So the answer to your question is going to be absolutely, yes, we do. The solution is going to be mobility print. And you probably have heard of this before, but just to let you know, I have a kindergartner and a third grader, both of which have Chromebooks and both use mobility print. So the opportunity out there, being it's the #1 selling device in K through 12 schools in the US, is yes, as a whole, mobility print, despite your OS system, is a way to manage, track, bill back, audit students and faculty using Chromebooks. So here's a fun fact for you. The adoption rate of Chromebooks is so high with PaperCut that we have 7 million Chromebooks utilizing mobility print right now, and it's rising every single day. That's enough Chromebooks, if you set them side by side, to go from New York to Miami, which paints a picture for you. You're probably thinking, hey, did I hear about mobility print before? And the answer is yes. So we sunsetted Google Cloud Print at the end of last year, and we're migrating tons of customers over to mobility print. And as I mentioned, the US high Chromebook adoption rate is extremely high, with it being the #1 device. So yes, we have an absolute solution for that. This hybrid school environment of kids working remotely. So, I mean, think about this. You have kids going from school, then they're out of school, then they're back in school. And there has to be this easy way to manage students if they need to print. So the ability for students to print at home off the network is a possibility with mobility print. So no matter your OS system, on or off the network, we're able to help you there. And it doesn't stop with just Chromebooks. The BYOD movement is becoming increasingly more popular. So it's not just Chromebooks, even though we are experts in that area. I use an iPhone right here. I know people that use an Android, a Surface, a tablet, a MacBook Air. Anything you have, we're seamlessly able to manage, and mobility print is going to be your solution. And check this out. The adoption rate, as I mentioned, is extremely high. 60% of K through 6th grade are utilizing mobility print, and it's even higher in high school at 71%. So even though we're not new to this, the opportunity is massive out there. So we're super excited. And if you have any questions regarding mobility print on how to set it up, what it actually looks like, we'd be happy to do that as a one-off for you. Back at the district for another question, and this one's a good one. We have always entertained moving towards a serverless environment. or at least migrating that direction. Does PaperCut have anything that would support moving to the cloud? And you know what? Let's just have our now familiar friend, Ryan Huizinga, take that one. Ryan, welcome back.
Hey, Anthony, I'm back. Thanks again. Ooh, new question, new topic. This one's also been very popular. We have a lot of customers that, yes, now that they have a workforce from home, there's no need to have all those resources, or they're trying to, cut costs wherever they can. And those servers that they're running yesterday, they want to figure out how can we get rid of those for tomorrow? Well, PaperCut MF, right, is going to be the big conversation. That's still the flagship. It's going to offer a lot of bells and whistles. So we definitely want to have a conversation with you to find out what are your criteria for moving to cloud. What are some of the functionalities you'd like from PaperCut MF or a print management solution that you would like to go ahead and implement in your environment? That'll help us architect the right solution for you, whether that's going to be PaperCut MF that's self-hosted, whether in your private cloud or something we host here at ACDI in our private cloud and help you offload some of those physical resources that you're paying for and take up a footprint in your environment. Once those two can be qualified, I know the next big conversation is we hear about this new cloud offering from PaperCut. Can you tell us more about that? It's called Hive. Well, it should be on your screen right now. You're having a glimpse into the admin portal. This is a quick way to help you get from a servered environment to a serverless or server few environment, I should say. Today, users are printing through a print server. They're making paper right away. PaperCut Hive allows you to maintain that current infrastructure of direct IP printing or going through a server while introducing a secure print workflow that is cloud hosted. And why I say supporting both at the same time, come on, we all know change management is hard. A solution doesn't work unless it's adopted by the users. So what we see in a lot of conversations and a lot of implementations, as users are direct printing, we introduce Hive, we introduce that Find Me, that secure print queue, and right away, teachers, staff members, users are gravitated to that workflow, and that allows you to start dissolving or decommissioning those print servers and those direct print queues, because now you just delivered a nice, clean solution that is easy to adopt, providing a secure print environment that is cloud hosted. So we know it's hard to kind of just cut the corners and say, hey, no more server today. We're going to this new environment. There is change management that needs to happen, and you need user adoption. And PaperCut Hive has done a really good job about that. Now on here, the ability to do that, you're seeing the dashboard. I know I'm going to click on a new the heart of PaperCut Hive, which is the edge mesh. And this is something we want to talk to you and your IT team about to explain how it works. But basically allows you to dissolve a print server and now turn those users' workstations, Windows and Mac, into a kind of an organic print server. So now we don't need a physical single point of failure. Now we have an edge mesh that is self-healing, intelligent, that allows resiliency and redundancy with printing in your environment. And as always, security. So you're not going to get away from print security when you're implementing PaperCut. I'm interested in talking to you about that, and I know our team is. Hey, Anthony, I gave you a lot of words in that answer. How did that work out?
Ryan, again, just incredible insight here, and such a cool feature, I know, for the entire PaperCut and ACDI team with this. I think the best thing is, no matter for school districts that want to stay on-prem or entertaining or already moving towards a serverless environment, the answer is it's a yes for you, and we have a solution for you. So, Ryan, this was perfect. Thank you for the overview.
Hey, anytime. I'm here for more if you need it.
Okay, last question, and possibly my favorite of them all. The question is about, can we kick the tires of this? Meaning, is there a small subset of PaperCut that we can just test? And I can't think of anyone better than to answer this question than Chris Robertson, who manages our solutions architect for the US. Hey, Chris, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. Sure, we can kick the tires on PaperCut MF. At ACDI, we do a trial. When a trial is assigned to a solutions architect, they'll reach out and they'll set up PaperCut. We'll embed a device, maybe two, set it up on a server, do Find Me printing, card readers, all of that stuff. Probably one of my favorite stories about a trial is we went to a lower, a middle, and an upper school. Actually did this on site. We do trials on site as well. Did the installation, set up Find Me printing across the whole range. And when one teacher could go from a school to the other campus location and pick her job up, they were absolutely astounded. And it also secured the jobs, which could have been test results or anything like that. So we keep it secure, we keep it compliant. We also make life easier.
Chris, that's outstanding. I love that. And I know you have exceptional experience in personally installing trials all across the US in different districts. shapes, and sizes. So really, really appreciate your insight here. I'm super glad to say we could say yes to this request. So thanks for being here.
Sure, it's my pleasure.
Wow, I'm exhausted. That was a treasure trove of information, and a huge thank you to all of our experts who chimed in. We are running out of time, I know. However, we cannot forget the basics, the fundamentals of why PaperCut put us on the map as the #1 print management software in all of education. And remember, the basics that put us on the map don't go away. It comes with PaperCut. So when we talk about a dashboard, the awareness and visibility that that provides, and any reporting and the ability to bill back to any departments charging the right budget codes. And remember, for all you print shops out there, we have job ticketing and web submission as an incredible tool to enhance the print job experience at your district. And as always, your print policies and rules-based routing as we start to curb the printing environment based on your users' behavior. AD and G Suite Sync, RFP support, and Scan to Cloud, the list goes on and on and on. Remember, we pride ourselves at being an all-inclusive resort type solution for your district. So one license key comes with everything. It's peace of mind for all. And that's a wrap. A huge thank you to our listeners out there for making this a wild success. I will say this, if you have any additional questions to what anyone discussed today, please reach out to the person who invited you. Let's set up a one-off conversation to answer all of those questions and just maybe kick the tires of PaperCut. Well, speaking of questions, I have seen questions arise to the chat box through our whole dialogue today. So let's dive into those. But for now, I'm Anthony Seiler, Educational Lead for ACDI, and thanks for listening.